Hey guys, my name is Dane and nostalgia is a bitch. Let me tell you why. Whenever I think about Rush game mode, I think about Bad Company 2 and how awesome Rush is in that game. Whenever we talk about grenade spam in Battlefield 4, we talk about the fact that it was way better in Bad Company 2 because you couldn't spam it as much. I've been in a lot of talks about Battlefield 4 hit registration, and Bad Company 2 came up where we were reminiscent of the good hit registration back then, and also the better spawn system and knife system compared to Battlefield 3 and 4. When we talk about map design in Battlefield 4, Bad Company enters the subject yet again. And destruction, of course. Bad Company 2 had a lot of destruction, way more than Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. So was and is Bad Company 2 really that great with all of these aspects? I decided to go play Bad Company 2 again for a few days to get back into the gunplay and all of the mechanics in the game. And this is where I noticed why nostalgia was being a bitch. The grenade spam is bad in Bad Company 2, pun intended. The hand grenades replenishes way faster from ammo boxes in Bad Company 2 than they do in Battlefield 4, and they are spammed to a great extent. Although, I gotta say that the grenade launcher spam, the new tubing, is just horrible in Bad Company 2. They replenish way faster than hand grenades and are spammed way more than hand grenades all of the time. Guess what killed me the most? No? Well, yeah, yep, you guessed it, grenade launchers. Oh boy. The hit registration is just as bad as the nade spam. We say that Battlefield 4 hit registration is bad, but the fact that I get a headshot with a sniper and I see the blood gushing from their head, but I get no kill and no hit marker, proves that Battlefield 4 isn't that bad, especially because this happened to me quite a lot. I've also been in close quarters firing at enemy players, seeing blood gush from their bodies, but get no kills and they turn around and kill me easily. I've also heard the doink that you get whenever you hit someone in the head, a bunch of times in a row even, and no kills nor any hit markers. I was playing and had less than 30 latency, 30 ms all of the time, so it wasn't lag on my end, and all of the other players had less than 40 or 50 latency, so it wasn't the issue, especially to this extent. I even heard the doink from a headshot made on me from a sniper because I noticed the whoosh sound that comes after a sniper bullet, and I saw the blood spatter, but I lost no health at all. I got killed around corners often as well. It made me feel like Battlefield 4 launch all over again. Yeah, you heard it, I said it. Like Battlefield 4 launch all over again. The spawn system we have in Battlefield 4, where we sometimes end up in front of players, behind them, or they end up in front of us or behind us, happens way less than what I experienced in Bad Company 2. Too often did I spawn right in front of people and die because of it, and too often did it happen the other way around. In a span of 3 games it occurred way more frequently than an entire evening of gaming Battlefield 4. And I thought that it was bad in Battlefield 4. And the knifing is a bit wonky as well in Bad Company 2 with the movement system in general and this odd feature of being unable to lie down. This choice made by DICE still seems odd to me. Why shouldn't you be able to lie down? Well, it might be because they tried to stop snipers from camping. Well, try, because of course they're still gonna do it whether they're able to lie down or not. And the movement system in general felt wonky when moving around. It felt like you were a robot, to be honest. And when sprinting, you couldn't strafe. I don't know, it's just something that I'm used to now, and it might not have been a big of a deal back then, but now going back into it, it was a big issue. Rush games and Rush game mode, well, in general, is still awesome, and it works in Bad Company 2. It kinda works in Battlefield 3, but it's just horrible in Battlefield 4. The maps in Bad Company 2 was more or less designed around Rush, and then adapted to the other game modes. Whereas Rush in Battlefield 3 and 4 was more or less the last influence on the map design aspect, but rather the Conquest mode being the first influence. And of course making the maps look beautiful. This was a big deal in Battlefield 4. We had to make these maps look all so beautiful. They need to look amazing, and then we're just gonna say screw map design, screw lanes, we just want to have everything look beautiful. And that's how they were having this meeting in DICE. It was a pretty accurate description or reenactment, but not really, but yeah. Maps in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 does look beautiful. but they were way too heavily designed around this, and therefore Rush was left out, and now it's basically unplayable. This is what Bad Company 2 did right. Nostalgia was truthful here. She wasn't a bitch here. The same goes for this destructibility in Bad Company 2. It's still awesome and fun, and there's loads of it on a scale incomparable in Battlefield 3 and 4. You can just... My favorite map in Bad Company 2 is Erica Harbor. And being able to more or less level the entire city section to the ground into rubble is just awesome. I miss this in Battlefield 4. I need this in Battlefield 4. So yeah, Nostalgia is a bitch, and it has been playing a trick on our memory, at least mine. And some of my friends remember Bad Company 2 just the way that I did it, and they were just as disappointed when they were playing with me. I guess this is because we compare it to a state of the game where we were constantly having tons of fun. And whenever we start to play a new game, we end up not noticing all of the flaws with it because we are so caught by it, mesmerized by it. I'm sure you guys know this feeling. Imagine trying your favorite game for the first time. Like, well, try it again, but without the knowledge of it. Basically forget all about it and then try it out for the very first time. I'd give anything for playing some of my favorite games for the very first time again. Getting that for the first time feeling satisfied. I guess you can say I'd like to lose my virginity to that certain game one more time. Yeah, Nostalgia is a bitch, and oh boy has it been a bitch in this case. I got more frustrated than satisfied, and way more irritated than entertained in Bad Company 2 than I remember being. I remember this being the god among first-person shooters, especially because it was one of the first competitive shooters where snipers had bullet drop. That was the... this was the top of the line game for me back then, because I, as you know, love sniping. This was awesome. But trying it out again, I see that games evolve, and I'm able to see the flaws that it had and that it still has. And I've gotten used to some of the newer games and newer game mechanics, so yeah. I do still miss my M24 sniper rifle, Rush done right, and the destruction, but that's about it I miss from this game. So yeah, that's it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and be careful. Nostalgia can be, and will more often than not, be a bitch. So let me know what games you'd like to try again for the very first time. I'd like to try Onimusha 3, World of Warcraft, Bad Company 2, God of War 2, Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations 3 and Black Flag, and Crysis again for the very first time. So yeah, that's it for this time, guys. Subscribe for more and future content on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.